The sound of breaking glass ripped through the stillness of a late October dawn in Maplewood Heights, a sleepy suburb outside Denver, Colorado. It was 2023, and the sharp crack hit like a thunderbolt, jolting Marcus Reed from his morning ritual. His coffee mug slipped from his hand, shattering on the kitchen tile, but he was already moving, instincts honed from years as an FBI agent taking over. From his front window, he saw a burly figure in dark aviators and a buzz cut, gripping a steel bat, taking another swing at the side window of Marcus's unmarked SUV parked across the street. The vehicle's hidden sensors screamed a silent alarm to the Bureau's command center. His earpiece crackled with urgent voices. Surveillance feeds down. Marcus status. But Marcus was already out the door, sprinting across his lawn in slippers, his flannel shirt flapping as he closed the distance. The man turned, expecting a rattled homeowner, not a federal agent with fire in his eyes. Marcus stopped inches from him, voice low and sharp. "You have any idea what you just did?" The guy smirked, chest puffed out. "Yeah, I cleaned up the block." Marcus flashed his badge, cold and deliberate. "You just smashed an active FBI surveillance rig. Nice work." The smugness vanished from the man's face, replaced by a sickly pallor. A jogger nearby dropped her water bottle, staring. That's when Marcus caught the name tag pinned to the guy's jacket. Vanguard Enforcement. This wasn't just a property dispute. This was a fuse, lit and burning fast. For months, Marcus had lived quietly in Maplewood Heights, posing as Matt from Lot 12, the laid-back IT guy who fixed routers and kept to himself. In truth, he was deep in one of the FBI's most delicate operations in Colorado. A house 4 doors down was a suspected hub for a cartel's cash, flow nothing loud, just quick visits, coded messages, and encrypted signals the Bureau had been tracking for weeks. Marcus's SUV, disguised as a beat-up contractor's ride, was the nerve center of that surveillance. Its tinted windows hiding micro cameras and its frame packed with gear that could pick up whispers through walls. It blended perfectly into the neighborhood's manicured chaos. But to the Homeowners Association of Maplewood Heights, that made a problem. The HOA here was a machine, obsessed with perfection. Rules dictated everything: hedge height, mailbox colors, even the shade of your front door. It was ridiculous, but it worked for the cartel. The absurdity kept eyes off their moves while Diane Harper, the HOA's iron-fisted president, ranted about fence alignments. Marcus had used the distraction, quietly gathering evidence of money drops and secret couriers. Everything was smooth until Victor Vanguard Malone got involved. Victor wasn't his real name. His ID read Vincent Morris, but no one dared call him that. He was the HOA's enforcer, a wannabe tough guy who'd once snapped a kid's skateboard for rolling too close to a cul-de-sac. Marcus had pegged him as trouble early and stayed off his radar. Clearly, that hadn't worked. Victor had gotten a tip about Marcus's nobody knew from who, probably just him sniffing around, deciding it looked off. To him, its faded paint and lack of a logo were a violation of HOA code. So he'd taken his bat to it, wrecking thousands in tech. The damage was catastrophic: exposed wires, fried cameras, a hard drive nearly crushed. Marcus snapped photos, sent a coded alert to flag the target house as compromised, and called for backup. Operation Stonewall was now a mess. Within an hour, Bureau vans rolled in, disguised as HVAC crews. Neighbors peeked out, whispering. Diane showed up in a silk robe, clutching her HOA rulebook like a shield, demanding answers. Marcus, now in his badge and vest, brushed past her. Victor lingered nearby, sipping an energy drink, his bravado gone. When Diane tried to challenge Marcus's authority, a senior agent flashed a federal warrant and told her to back off or face obstruction charges. She froze, speechless. Inside the wrecked SUV, tech salvaged what they could, but the live feed to the cartel house was dead. Marcus had to act fast. The cartel wasn't dumb. If they sensed a breach, they'd vanish, or worse, turn violent. That night, as Maplewood's streetlights flickered on, Marcus sat in his garage, staring at the taped-up SUV. Victor was still patrolling, picking up trash to look busy. Diane had gone quiet, maybe lawyering up. But something nagged Marcus. Victor's attack felt too precise, hitting the exact vehicle wired to the target house. Then, just before midnight, a backup mic in a fake mailbox near the cartel house picked up a voice. Drop set for tomorrow. Route's clear. HOA's in line. Marcus's blood ran cold. HOA's in line. That wasn't a coincidence. It was a conspiracy. The next morning, Marcus stood by his driveway, sipping cold coffee, eyes hidden behind sunglasses. The cartel house looked dead, no lights, just a gray sedan parked out front, unmoved for days. With the SUV's tech gone, Marcus needed a new angle. Then it hit him, the HOA's community center directly facing the target house, with a clear line of sight. It was barely used except for Diane's endless meetings. Better yet, Victor had bragged about having the keys. Marcus approached him later that day, playing it smooth, saying the Bureau wanted to ease tensions with a community Gesterian air purifier for the center, something about allergies. Victor, still shaken from the Fed's visit, bought it, grumbling as he unlocked the door. Inside, Marcus rigged two devices disguised as air fresheners, one a wide-angle camera, the other a directional mic. By the time Victor returned, the setup was live. Marcus nodded, said the room felt fresher, and left. Back home, his laptop lit up with a feed. A figure in a jacket checked the sedan's trunk, then slipped back inside. The operation was back on. Later, Marcus visited Diane's house, not as a neighbor, but as a hunter. She answered the door, all smiles and perfect makeup, asking about unpaid fines. He played nice, saying he wanted to work with the HOA, even offering to help with their newsletter. Her guard dropped. Inside, her home was sterile, like a showroom. But on her counter, under a bowl of oranges, Marcus spotted a file with an address tied to a cartel-linked shell company. He filed it away mentally, kept the small talk light, and left. Diane had slipped, mentioning select residents and upcoming HOA picnic people who kept things running. It sounded like a code. That night, Marcus caught footage of a courier at the cartel house, dropping a package at Diane's porch. It was the second drop that week. He sent the clip to HQ. Targets are deeper than we thought. The HOA picnic was next, a staged event dripping with Control Every banner, every song approved by Diane. Marcus showed up, blending in, mic hidden under his shirt. Victor manned the grill, avoiding Marcus's gaze. Diane worked the crowd, all charm. Then Marcus saw it. A man in a teal shirt handed Diane an envelope, which she tucked in her bag like it was nothing. Later, Victor, tipsy and loud, bragged about smashing the shady SUV, then whispered to the teal shirt guy, "We're good now, right? I fixed it. He's just watching." The man's face darkened, and he stormed off. Marcus's pulse raced. Victor wasn't just a loose cannon, he was on someone's leash. At the picnic, Marcus's bugs in the community center caught Diane meeting a nervous man. She handed him the envelope, saying, "Last drop this week. We're done." Marcus knew the clock was ticking. He dug into HOA records online and found a $45,000 payment to Green Horizon Landscaping. No new plants, no work done. A front. He planned to visit their listed address, posing as a tech consultant. But that night, his motion sensor blinked. An envelope was pinned to his mailbox. "Stop bringing feds to family events." His cover was blown. Marcus sent a final message to HQ. All assets compromised. Raid in 36 hours. The raid hit at 5 a.m. Under a heavy sky, agents swarmed silently, posing as repair crews. Drones watched from above. Marcus monitored Diane from near the community center. She was calm, typing away, clueless. Victor paced, jumpy. At 6:15, the cartel house was breached, 3 men cuffed, cash and ledgers seized. One coughed up. She said we were safe. Minutes later, Diane started shredding papers. Marcus signaled the second team. They stormed the center, catching her mid-shred. She glared at Marcus, spitting, "You don't know who you're crossing." Agents found envelopes with cash and cartel code names, including Victor's and the teal shirt man's. Victor sobbed, claiming ignorance, but his signatures on fake reports said otherwise. The fallout was swift. Green Horizon was a shell, laundering millions. Maplewood was one of many compromised HOAs. Marcus declined a desk job, choosing to stay in the field. Weeks later, a new envelope arrived, a photo of him before the raid, with a note, "Not all snakes are gone." He burned it, vowing to stay vigilant. Maplewood began to heal. Real flowers bloomed. A new HOA board banned petty fines. A kid on a bike yelled, "Thanks for saving us, Mr. Matt." Marcus just waved, silent, knowing the fight wasn't over. What do you think? Could Diane have been a mastermind or just a pawn? Was Victor a thug or a victim of bigger players? Should Marcus have stayed in Maplewood or moved on? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and subscribe for more stories that pull back the curtain.